What up, Premier League fans? We're in Brooklyn. Today on The Stoop, we're talking Liverpool dominance, Wolves emergence, City slippery slope. We're talking the FA Cup's stupid-ass VAR situation, and we're talking the absolutely ridiculous holiday fixture schedule. And don't think for a second I'm not about to talk some mad shit about Man United losing to my Gunners. What up, Mikel Arteta? I see you, son. Let's get to the Stoop. Welcome back to The Stoop, everybody. We're here today with Mr. Mark, a Wolverhampton fan.
Hey,
and
yo.
we got Aneesha over here from Manchester. She claims there's only one team to support if you're actually from Manchester.
True story. True story. City supporters live in Manchester. United supporters live everywhere else.
Yeah. We just finished the crazy holiday schedule. There was 30 games in the span of what, 10 days? 8
Yeah,
days?
like I think 10.
It was a ridiculous schedule, very hard to follow.
That's silly. When the rest of the world, the Bundesliga doesn't do that. They take a break. The La Liga takes a break.
Christmas holidays.
So what's fucking wrong with y'all?
We need something to watch on television while we're all off work, so they put more football on. That's basically the story.
And
I have no idea why they do it. It's such an unpopular decision with all the managers, all the players. They've told them that apparently to make up for it, they're going to get like a weekend off in February or something.
That, yeah. February, we'll give you a week
It's like,
off.
hey, work really hard now. In 7 weeks, we'll give you 2 days off.
When it doesn't matter at all.
So what is it?
And they
3,
all
4
have
games
injuries
in 2
by then.
weeks? 3-4 games in a week?
I know for most people, for most
like
teams,
3
it was 3 games
games,
within the span of 1 week. I know Wolves, for example, had like 2 days off, less than 2 days off.
Brutal for the Wolves.
And then they had less than 3 days off.
City, Liverpool, and Watford.
And I was in Manchester.
And you started
there were
so
2 games
good.
While I was home.
You started so good beating those guys.
We were 10
I'm
men.
not
We were a man down, and we didn't have our best goalkeeper.
Loved it.
I don't want to hear it. City should be able to beat most teams with 9 players on the pitch, and they could be your bench players.
I'm just gonna call like
you guys were up
I'm gonna call
2-0.
VAR.
You guys were 2-0 and
I'm
man short.
gonna call VAR.
2-0
Don't talk to him
and man
about
short.
Don't talk to him about
Definitely
VAR.
not.
No,
Definitely
Wolves
not.
have had. He was bitching to me before. Wolves have had seven
VAR decisions against them. 3 within Liverpool.
Oh, I saw that.
3 within Liverpool,
saw
and
that.
2 goals were decided because of it. 1 away, 1 against, and 1 for.
That first goal was so pretty. Mm-hmm. Like that's where I think VAR should have a gauge of like, yes,
enjoyment level.
He was this much offside, but the goal was this good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we should.
We should allow.
Okay, so there's pretty points, is what you're saying.
Is that not how life works? Is that not how life
Pretty
works?
points.
She's got a
She
point.
does have a point.
got a point.
She does have a point.
Most people, yeah, they get pretty points
Exactly.
until you hit the Arsenal scale of ugly points, where it's like he was onside, but
We're still not gonna let them.
Disallowed.
Although they have some hope now.
Oh my God.
Do they?
We've got a little hope.
Do they? Is anything changed? Nothing's really changed. They're still practically the same team.
No, they're not. That game against Leeds, they came out a different team in the second half.
In the second half.
Well,
How long can
they
they keep
needed
this
some
up?
ass whooping in between.
How long? Oh yeah. So Arteta was just like, "You guys suck. Now get your shit together."
Pretty much, yeah.
Arteta, man, the Basque Dracula, are you kidding me?
Basque
He goes in there and he
Dracula.
just looks at
I
them.
had no idea.
Apparently
he looks
he's really
amazing.
hardcore.
Yeah, he is.
Apparently he like really yells at them and gets them into shape.
I mean,
Wow.
he spent like, what, 2 or 3 seasons with Pep Guardiola in the locker room with them, and he's just like perched up in a corner like this, just learning.
So I read an article about this.
upside down.
I read an article about this.
Teeth
Apparently
dripping
he's
with
planning
blood.
on implementing some of Pep Guardiola's strategy.
Like, get Kevin De Bruyne.
That is not allowed. He's the
Sergio
only thing holding
Aguero.
us together this season. No one has allowed him.
That's
It's
that guy.
one of the best in the league. The angry
Now-
Dutchman.
now-
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's angry about something, and that's what's fueling him this season.
Yeah, he's angry that he can't get a tan. I mean, the dude, like,
He's very pale.
he's like his hair needs a tan.
Don't
I'm
talk
just
to me
saying,
about
like-
hair.
I think he's frustrated by the lack of cohesion in the team. But saying that, I feel like that's the only thing that City has going for them right now that's going to keep them going. So, like,
Yeah. I feel. But to me, I mean, this lack of cohesion. Oh, Man City. It's like a Patriots thing, you know? It's like a New England Patriots thing where it's like, oh man, if only we could get it together, we'd win all the games.
but see, here's the thing. I think they complain about the cohesion, but I still think they have a little more cohesion than someone like Leicester, who are doing very well, but I think there's still a lot of one-man players.
Like who?
Like you've got some big names, like you've got your Vardys and your Madsons, and they're all great players, but I think there's it's almost too much individual strive and not enough team strive, if that makes sense. It's like they've got a point to prove, like, we didn't just win the league once, we can win it a second time, but they're not necessarily doing it to help each other. I feel like when you watch them play, like the City Leicester game that I watched recently, the only thing City had going for them was they seemed to play better together than Leicester.
Yeah. The thing about Leicester is they play Vardy so far forward for the counter-attack, and if he gets the ball one-on-one, like, it's a goal 80% of the time. So they play that, so it seems very individualistic because he's just hanging out.
He's like the one man going solo.
Yeah, Vardy's not doing anything, and then they just boot the ball up the pitch. It's very...
It's
I complain about
a different
American
game.
football
Yeah, it's a different game.
is the Americans play instead of tiki-taka Spanish style, we're like, you got the ball, kick it!
Go!
Boot it, and we hope like Yedlin or somebody super fast can go catch it.
Fair.
Which is kind of what Wolves are doing with Traore, which I love that dude. I love that dude.
The tank, the Scud missile.
Yeah, he's like Marshawn Lynch playing fucking soccer, where somebody tries to muscle him out and he's just, duh.
To see a guy
I don't know
that
if you
big
saw
move
after
that
the last
fast.
game, his score. Yeah, after the City game, his score on FIFA on like the PlayStation games went up tenfold in every category, like strength, speed, power,
when
everything.
he muscled the ball away from
don't.
who was that?
Oh,
Mendy, yeah. And Mendy's like gonna let the ball go out of bounds, and he just goes, no, goal, get out of here.
So I was
Wolves,
at a
son.
dinner party the
What?
night that game.
So, the dude's ripped, right?
Uh-huh.
Mind, body, and soul.
Built like a brick house.
He says he does not work out with weights.
Oh, I saw
garbage.
this. He has a fast
Bullshit.
metabolism.
Oh, he says it's genetics. He says it's genetics.
So does Arnold Schwarzenegger. Has a fast.
I don't
unless you're
buy
like
it.
unless you're like in the lab and like you're being like
Steroids?
jacked with steroids and all sorts of like sci-fi serums and whatnot. No, there's no way. There's no way. He has to pump iron.
Unless.
Maybe he means not free weights.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing.
So
because
like maybe he still goes to the gym. He'll use all the machines. He'll still run. He does whatever.
That's
but
still
no
weight
free
training
weights.
though. Man.
Yeah.
It's still lifting.
Yeah, I think I imagine.
He's all like, I woke up like this.
I ate some chicken and this is what happened.
I woke up like this.
I'm born. Maybe he's born with it. That's what he said. He said it was gene.
He
Yeah.
said genetic.
It's just
and
genetic.
Like, no
It's
way.
just genetic.
No way.
I don't buy it.
3-4 years ago with Barca, he was fucking skin and well, he wasn't skin and bones, but he was a little guy.
Yeah, I mean, because he's not that tall, and
No,
now he's as
like,
wide
he's
as
like
he
my
is
height.
tall.
He's 5'10".
You're 5'10".
You need to mark me on the wall?
I don't know.
I'm not getting
We're gonna
into
leave
it.
it
I'm
up
sure,
to
I'm
the British
short.
American conversion there. He's 100 centimeters. I don't know how that makes it
That makes
5'10".
That makes him really small because I'm like 160.
I don't know these things. If
Lies.
he's not using weights, then he, in his mind, is in prison, and he's just constantly doing dips. He's got like he's got
possible?
Diogo
With
Jota sitting
like-
on his legs.
With
His
like
own
resistance?
body weight to- yeah.
I mean, if he's doing like resistance, I guess, but I don't. He's too.
He'd be more lean if he was
He's
doing
too
resistance.
pitbully. That's just.
I just see Nuno Espirito Santo on his back as he's walking doing lunges.
You will be my
much
future.
faster, much faster. He's so much fun to watch. He's so dangerous.
He's a lot.
And
of
now
fun
he's
watch. And
learned how to
very,
strike.
Very agile.
It's true. He's more of a threat.
That was his problem last season. He couldn't score to save his life.
I think
Definitely
he's
a
more
breakout
comfortable
year
in his
for him.
positioning now.
Yeah.
It's make or break time for the Wolves, man. They got Newcastle, followed by Southampton. Those are games they have to win because after that it's Liverpool, United, and Leicester. They're gonna make that move. They got to win the next two and hope to hold close to the next three.
Do you think Nuno's secret weapon is Neves? Because that's like the buzz at the moment.
Neves or
Yeah.
Neto?
Neves.
I love Neves. He's like a free kick. He's tricky. All of the Wolves players are these like little unknown Portuguese guys. When they're playing well, it's like a bunch of mini little, not quite Messi's, but players like that who are tricky.
It's funny you say that. So there's a chant at the moment the Wolves are chanting. I don't know if you've heard it. And it goes, Nuno Santo's man, he's better than Zidane for Neves.
No,
Which is not true.
They're
It's not
stealing
true.
that's the Mesut Ozil chant. That's "We got Ozil," and it goes to "Achy Breaky Heart." Sorry, I look at our boom operator over here because I don't know why. But it goes, "We got Ozil, Mesut Ozil. I just don't think you'd understand. He's Arsene Wenger's man. He's better than Zidane. I just don't think you understand." It's a
full chant.
It's a dumb
Yeah.
chant. Like it doesn't make sense. He's not better than Zidane. I'm sorry.
You do that very well, though.
Which
chant.
part of it?
All of
whole
it.
thing.
It's an old one. It's an old one. So that made me happy when I heard people chanting it again, because Arsenal fans are kind of. My team is giving me a little headache with the fans right now, because it's like, Emery out, oh, get Ozil out of here, Xhaka's out of here, kill his wife, things like that. And then Ozil just runs for a whole game, no assist, he just plays a decent game, and they're chanting, "We've got Ozil,
So apparently that's part of his strategy. Is he wants to build the stamina of the team so that they play
Ozil?
better. No.
Oh, I was like, he's building stamina by not. He doesn't run half the season.
No, Arteta, he wants to build the stamina. He thinks one of the biggest fallings of Arsenal at the moment is stamina.
I mean, when you spend the first half of the season walking the pitch, I mean,
running is definitely
I don't know if
better.
it's a stamina thing, more as like just saying, run, like
do more.
just run. So Liverpool look pretty unbeatable. I know everybody keeps comparing it to last season where they kind of took their foot off the pedal, but I mean 13 points.
Not
That's hard
happening.
to catch
game
up
in
on.
hand.
Yeah.
Not happening.
They
this
could
season.
take their foot off for a month and still be in first place. Like they could lose for a month.
They're scared though. They're scared what will happen is what happened last season where they had that advantage and then they got laid back and then they lost, like the highest scoring team to ever come second.
That definitely put a bitter taste in their mouth, and I think that is their motivation this season. Absolutely.
It'll push them.
So, say, Tottenham loses Harry Kane, City loses De Bruyne,
The world
Leicester
ends.
loses Jamie Vardy.
Where are they all going?
No, I mean to injury. To Arsenal. They're all coming to Arsenal.
That's what you think.
They're all going to Leeds.
You guys want to
No,
business,
I'm just
business
saying.
model doesn't fit that.
Who, if Liverpool, I don't feel like Liverpool has a player that if they lost them would be that sort of detrimental character. I feel like they've got
They've got a lot of good
They're
players.
so stacked.
There's
They
not-
have three of
There's
the
not
best
one.
players
There's not
in the
one
Premier League.
standout. They have like.
I mean, Mane's having a ridiculous season, but I think if you put him on the bench, Firmino and Salah and everyone's gonna
Everyone
Origi's
else will
having
buck up, yeah.
match, a game. Shaqiri, who's one of my favorite little beasts, is he's on the bench most of the time too.
And Firmino's a steady deliverer every week without fail.
I was talking to a friend of mine who's a big Liverpool fan, and he says that Firmino is their best player. And I don't buy
I
that.
got him on my fantasy
I don't
team.
buy that.
I would say that he doesn't get the fantasy numbers, but when you watch, I was a big Firmino hater for the longest time until someone told me to actually watch him because I'm like, look, he has opportunities to score and he doesn't score. He has opportunities to assist, he doesn't assist. But he's up and down the pitch.
Here's why I like him, because he may not be your person that gives you all the points every week. He may not be your person where you look at the match and you immediately go, he's my, man of the match. But he is constant, in my opinion, in like covering the pitch, in working with the other players, in basically supporting the team.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he delivers.
And the fact that anytime he has the ball, you freak out.
Yeah.
Because he can do some magical things.
Yeah.
I think 2 seasons ago, Salah
Yeah.
getting hurt
Yeah.
would have been detrimental.
Now
But
he's not alone though.
now he's not the best
definitely
player
not
on the
alone.
pitch.
No.
He's not. He's a bonus, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. I also think he has a lot of attitude.
He's Mohamed Salah.
I mean, it's also football, so.
He's
When
Mohamed
they
Salah.
chant, when Liverpoolians, when a bunch of Scousers,
Liverpudlians?
Liverputians.
Liverpudlians.
when a
Oh,
bunch of
Pudlian.
when a bunch of Liverpudlians,
That's almost hard to
all
say.
these mostly white people
Oh, yeah, yeah.
are screaming, Mo Salah, Mo Salah. If he scores a goal or two, I'll be Muslim too. Like, are you kidding me?
Wow!
That means
Oh,
That's
I love that.
amazing.
I love that.
It's amazing.
You don't hear that for Ozil.
No, never. Never.
Ozil, you're German, but you're Muslim. We're confused. That's more of an Arsenal supporter
Yeah.
chant. I know we mostly talk Premier League here, but Premier League, FA Cup, no other league plays in that. No other.
No.
No
just
other
the
country
Brits.
plays in that. And I just realized that they're using VAR for the matches that are played in Premier League stadiums,
At home.
but not at the other ones
No.
because they don't have VAR
Exactly. It's
capabilities.
not set up there.
So why wouldn't you just not do VAR?
So they've listed in advance. They're not just springing on people. I know they've like
clearly,
announced
yeah.
like listings where it's going to be used, but I just think it gives like an unfair level of scrutiny to the game at those stadiums. Like
The
I'm
one-
not
the ones with VAR.
The ones with VAR. Like I'm not a VAR fan. I think it takes a lot of pleasure out of the game. I know it helps make decisions, but it makes it too clinical in my opinion.
Yeah. So who does it give the advantage to? Does it give it the advantage to the team who's used to having VAR or the team who is not? Like, is it more of an advantage to be a lower level team who doesn't use VAR playing in a VAR stadium?
No.
Or to be a Premier League side, all of a sudden we didn't have VAR, we can handball and we can be offside?
I think the Premier League teams away are going to benefit from it more because they're used to being reined in by
So
it.
now you can
and now they can go,
nudge
wait,
offside."
let's
Yeah.
go for this. Whereas it will almost penalise the stadiums that don't have it or the players that don't have it because they're not used to it, so they're used to playing how they do, and then they'll come into this arena that's got them, and it just, for use of a better phrase, shits all over them.
Yeah.
Look, it becomes a case of either use it or don't.
Yeah.
If you can't use it across the board, don't use it. I understand it's new. I know it's new technology.
Yeah, it's
as far
not-
as
it's-
like the last
yeah.
couple of seasons, and they have to test it out. They have to find out what works, and they want to be consistent in the use of it. But still, if you don't use it across the board, or if you can't use it across the board, don't use it.
Yeah.
It's not fair, and I know the world of gaming is not fair, but I just think they need to put an even keel on it if you're in a competition.
Agreed.
Agreed. All right, well, we're losing sunlight, and that was the only thing keeping us a little bit warm besides this warm conversation that we're having. Thank you for supporting our first show. We will be back next week with more. And if you disagree with anything that we said, you're wrong, but write it down in the comments below. And make sure to slag Mark for not knowing anything about football until this week. And make sure to slag her for being a City fan.
No.
Don't talk any smack about me.
Talk lots of smack about this guy.
All right, peace out from the stoop.
Arsenal
No,
and
no.
Archuleta.
Arsenal and Archuleta. The fuck is he talking about?